Welcome, everyone, to Healing Wednesdays, the Circle of 12. I'm Lee Carroll.
And I'm Monica Morani, and happy July 5. And for those of you in the US, we really hope you had a great holiday yesterday, because as you know, July 4 is what is celebrated here in the US.
It is,
we
did.
It was very fun for me and Lee, yes. So do you know that this program is offered for free once a month? Well, I have a feeling you do, because many of you are watching it. I sure hope so. But our Healing Wednesday subscribers, they receive this 90-minute program every single Wednesday of the year. We have special guests, we do questions and answers, discussions, weird stuff. Well, that's for those of you who are new to the channel maybe. Weird stuff, meditations, and of course, more weird stuff with channeling from Kryon. So over the last few months, we've begun programs where we begin with affirmations. And I really love having this added component to how we begin our Healing Wednesday evening. So we'd like to continue that for the month of July, and you're invited to join us in saying the affirmation and claim it as your own. You'll see the words on the screen to make it easier for you to participate. And the subject, well, this time we are going to be talking about the magnificence of your soul. So let's suspend time for just a moment. Relax your body, soften your breathing. Focus on nice, slow breaths, breathing in and out through your abdomen and your chest. Dear Creator, thank you for being a part of me. I affirm that you love me beyond measure and have given me the gift of free choice to discover the God within. I claim the magnificence of my soul. I invite the energy of my soul to become even more enhanced in my daily life. The expression of my soul in the form of love and compassionate action to others reminds me of my own divinity. All is well, and all that is happening is for my highest good.
Dear Creator, thank you for being a part of me. I affirm that you love me beyond measure and have given me the gift of free choice to discover the God within. I claim the magnificence of my soul. I invite the energy of my soul to become even more enhanced in my daily life. The expression of my soul in the form of love and compassionate action to others reminds me of my own divinity. All is well, and all that is happening is for my highest good.
Dear Creator, thank you for being a part of me. I affirm that you love me beyond measure and have given me the gift of free choice to discover the God within. I claim the magnificence of my soul. I invite the energy of my soul to become even more enhanced in my daily life. The expression of my soul in the form of love and compassionate action to others reminds me of my own divinity. All is well, and all that is happening is for my highest good.
Thank you, Monica. It's a great way to begin the evening. I really love this new format that we're doing, and Monica is the one who brings us these affirmations, so thanks again. Again, we want to let our subscribers know that we'll be using these same affirmations now all these next weeks as well. Last month is something that I did, and I want to kind of review it, and I want to enhance on it, if you want to say that, enhance it. And it has to do with my gratitude for all the prayers and support I received during my recent open heart surgery and its recovery. I want to take this opportunity to speak of healing in general and answer a couple of questions specifically and describe some of my insights during this important time in my life. You've played a big part in that. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is what I want to speak of now. I'm so grateful still for all the prayers and all the good energy that you had for me. Some of you know that I've just released a separate video about this very thing for everyone. Subscribers, YouTube, Facebook, etc. It's free for everybody. I wanted it all to be seen and watched, which tells the entire story of why I would need surgery at all. In addition, it tells my quandary from the beginning and the strong advice that I had in this industry of, being exposed and being seen. And all that was told me is that keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody. I'm going to explain. That's actually explained on the bigger video. But what follows next is some information from me about that was taken from that program. I'd love for you to hear what I have to say. And also, please, see the bigger one if this tweaks your interest at all. Last month in June, Krein gave a channeling that was revealed in Sedona, Arizona, to about 500 people. What made that channeling interesting, that there were things that Krein channeled I would never have said or never revealed myself. Now, Krein does this sometimes, so I'll tell you the things that he said because they're public now. But it's not necessarily what I would have said. And by the way, these audios, you can hear them. They'll be published in Krein.com free audio, where all the channels are eventually published. It's there now for you to see, and you can hear it for yourself, what Krein had to say. So against the advice of many and some and the industry, I released a video in March telling everyone that I was going to have surgery. So this was last March. And after the diagnosis of my heart issues, and even after my video telling you all about it, it got worse. More tests revealed that there was so much more wrong that even my surgeon said, and I quote, "We normally don't do this much on a person your age." Metaphysical audience, how do I tell a wonderful mainstream heart surgeon that my chronological age is not the age of my body? It's not the age that my body recognizes. I participate in affirmations, supplement, healthy eating styles, and more. It really works. My birthday age is not my indicator how old I am. I think most of you know that. It's what we believe. Somehow the surgeon saw that very thing in my attitude and decided it was okay, so we went ahead. Also, he said it helped that I had never smoked in my life. I had a very good, strong immune system, and I was healthy. But the issue, the elephant under the table, is this. How do I come before all of you, thousands of you, who know me from my healing program, and then I tell you I'm about to have major surgery? Oh, that's almost a violation of everything I teach. Wow. Oh, what a quandary. So, in that channel in Sedona, Arizona, last month, Krein told everybody of this issue of mine and revealed something else to everybody, something personal. Didn't really want you to know it. This is what Krein told everyone years ago. I was told of a heart murmur and of a leaking valve in my heart, even an enlarged heart. You see, I knew it. I already knew it. I learned this right in the cardiologist's office. This wasn't anything channeled to me. I also knew my father had died from this very thing. So what's the wisest thing I might do at that point with this information from the cardiologist? The answer, start the test so that we knew exactly what to deal with and develop an alternate healing protocol to change it. So, of course, what I did was canceled all my upcoming appointments with the cardiologist and went into full denial, never saw him again. Folks, I'm not proud of this. I think it was really stupid. But I didn't want to tell you that, but Krein did. He did it to 500 in front of 500 people. Krine's message in Sedona was clear. Listen to this, what Krine has to say about surgery, emergencies, healing in general. If you're in an audio accident and you have major injuries, they don't rush you home to pray about it and give you some herbs and a diet. The issue is immediately and medically dealt with the expertise that's needed for that. Krine indicated that modern medicine and the technology involved today is appropriate for all of us when it's appropriate. He also mentioned that it's the inappropriate big pharma and some of the hospital scenarios that are totally out of integrity. Those things are the problem, the old energy problems we have and the issues that we should deal with. These things are a common thread, a theme of Krine. And, quote, big money and real healing often conflict, unquote. That's what Krine deals with. But the dedicated doctors and the technology they use is very appropriate for many of us, especially in an emergency. I was in an emergency. If it were not for this technology, by the way, and this expertise, I wouldn't be here. I would be blind. And none of the Krine books would have ever been written. This is my history. It has taken over 7 surgeries in my eyes over many years to occasionally correct and stabilize big issues that would have caused this blindness. You might say, thanks to the talent and the knowledge of these dedicated doctors and the technology even back then, Krine is here today. When your retinas both pull away and they tell you you're going to have all the vitreous in your eye has to be removed and replaced, and they don't send you home to pray about it. They operate. It was an emergency, and I'm so glad they did. I am so grateful to all of them today. So within this Sedona channel, Krine dropped the bomb, I would say, my private information. And he said it to all the people. It has to be public now. And here it was, quote, Lee, if you had started working on your heart years ago when we gave you the signal to, you could have skipped all of this, meaning the surgery. So, Spirit had given me this information, and I had ignored it. And now everybody knew that I had ignored it. These are not my favorite channeling times, folks, with Krine. But let's stop for a moment. Is there real evidence that you could repair heart issues this serious with our alternate methods? Are you ready? Absolutely. I have seen this personally, even with my friends. It takes time. It takes dedication, belief. And yes, I had waited and waited, and now it was an emergency. So back to what happened after my diagnosis. I asked Krine in the shower, where I talked to Krine, what to do. The answer was quick and it was loving. Tell everyone what's happening and ask them to hold the energy of healing and love for you. If you do this, you will have a miracle moment, Lee. The rest is history. I have had my miracle moment. Listen, the story gets better and better. The results, I'm back. I'm really back. I am Lee 2.0 back. Insurance companies, they watch those who are using their policy for expensive surgeries like me. So they assigned a medical professional to check it out. Nurses would come to my house, whatever, various stages of recovery. And what the professionals told us, my situation was one of the strongest recoveries they'd ever seen. Prayer works. It's above and beyond what was ever expected, even by me. I shouldn't say that, but it is. All of your energies combined made a tremendous difference. This is my miracle moment, and I'm so grateful to all of you who participated. But wait, there's more. I'd love to say that. I wanted to tell you about the advice I received from Kryon to prepare for this invasive surgery. Very invasive. After all, they opened my chest, they stopped my heart for an hour. While it stopped, they do all the repairs and then hope it starts again. Normally does. Operation takes about 3 hours or so. So is there anything I could do to help with this? I mean, I'm going into deep anesthesia during all this time, so what can I do? Kryon gave me a new concept, and I wanted to share it. I think it really made a difference. Let me quickly tell you what I did that was unusual, that I believe was also responsible for my quick recovery, as well as your prayers. For many years now that Kryon has given messages about how powerful our consciousness is, and we could talk to our bodies, to ourselves. Our bodies are master healers of everything. Spontaneous remission, you've heard of that. For example, the placebo effect. Wow, they should study that. It's where people get healed from taking a sugar-coated pill because they think it's not a sugar-coated pill. That's consciousness. Great examples of the power of that consciousness and subconscious over diseases and attributes in our body. So the power of thought and the things that are affirmations and reframing and the subconscious, they're all things that Klein has taught for years. This very program brings it in there. I believe in it. But apart from visualizing a benevolent outcome for myself after the operation, a valuable thing, what else could I do? The cells in the body are a part of a system we have all seen. And that part of the system that we're not truly aware of, that's automatic, we seem to have no control of, we have a very, very strong survival instinct. Almost all our chemistry works this way. If there is an invader, even a microbe, the cells of our body rise up to meet it. You might say that it's the prime directive of the human body is to survive. Klein clearly showed me this. When they start the operation and they do the very long incision, Lee, it's a red alert to every cell in your body, not just the ones in your chest. Red alert, there's an invader. I'd never thought of that. So my entire body is going to fight it off like an invasion. Chemistry will be released. The shock of it all will be felt at the whole body level. The body will react, all of it. What can I do to change that? I'm out for the count, as they say. Again, I'm anesthetized, anesthetized. Yeah, you know what I mean. During this procedure, Klein told me what to say to my body, and it was different from I'd ever thought, and I want to share it. I had to rewrite the survival code. How about that? Just for a little while. So I was told to talk to my body out loud starting 2 weeks before the surgery. My dialogue went like this. Dear cells of my body, I love you. Dear body, I am in control. Listen up. Our survival is being enhanced soon, and the seeming invasion that's coming is not an invasion. It's a benevolent intervention. Listen up. Welcome the invader, body. Innate cells, welcome the invader. Love it. And do not resist. Do not resist. I've given permission. Do not resist. Unquote. I'm absolutely convinced that this helped a great deal in my recovery. Even 2 days after the surgery, when all the drugs had worn off, I was waking up night and days in total gratitude for every little thing. Gratitude for almost no pain, you believe that? And having good sleeps at night in the hospital. Listen, if any of you are facing surgery by necessity, don't beat yourself up that you couldn't do it by alternate methods. Perhaps it's actually a fast track. So you can do something quickly, go on to do something more important, just to get through it, to be healthy. You can't second guess the plan of Spirit. If you have a doctor who tells you that you may be in danger without surgery, take it as a signal that you either waited too long as I did, or it's an unexpected emergency event that you couldn't have worked with otherwise. It's almost like the traffic accident that Klein spoke of. Then, if you're led to have surgery of any kind, see it as an experience of like I did. It's something that you were told for, something you need. And perhaps what I went through and what I was told can help you with it. Rewind and listen again to what I just said to my cells, my innate, and start this process of saying, welcome the invader. Do not resist. You can find my other video. It's more expansive. It's on YouTube. It says much of this and more. Listen again to a far more complete story about what happened. Perhaps you needed to hear it. I'm back. I'm Lee 2.0. And I'm ready for years of more excursions, conferences, events, and a lot of new courses that we're going to do and online programs. Thank you all so much for everything you have done for me. Thank you. And again, this is my miracle moment.
What a beautiful reminder we have from Lee about the importance of telling our body how much we love it. So I invite you to close your eyes and say out loud, I love you, my beautiful body. I love you, my beautiful body. I love you, my beautiful body. And again, just a reminder every day to give thanks and gratitude for the beautiful body that you have. And now, let us listen to what else Kryon might have to say.
Greetings, dear ones. I'm Kryon of Magnetic Service. I'd like to start a series of 4 channelings. They're for this entire month, and the subject is going to be awareness. It's not just awareness. It's called perhaps even super awareness. And we're going to cover 4 subjects of awareness. And they're going to be different levels of awareness. Now, I want to explain this because levels is something hierarchical. One level is above the other, The very word levels means above and below. It would be an indicator of a level. But this is not that way. In a multidimensional sense, the levels are a bigger way of thinking about something. So you might be on one level of awareness, and suddenly we ask you to consider something bigger. That would be another level. But it is included in what you already are aware of. There is something happening on this planet, dear ones. It's an enhancement of your consciousness and your ability to be more aware. Some of you have been more aware just in the last months that something bigger is happening on the planet. How many of you have had an awareness that God is bigger than you were told? Spirit, the creative source. That there is more than anyone has ever told you. And it's not their fault they didn't tell you. There was no super awareness of anything bigger. There is now. So the first thing we want to share with you is this. There is something happening to let you expand your consciousness to be closer to that which is the veil, or even things that are on the other side of the veil than you've ever had before. There really truly has been a ceiling of how far you can think. Now, you wouldn't admit this, and intellectuals would never agree. But there truly is a limit of human consciousness. Just like there is a limit to other consciousness of lower mammals. Beautiful. What a dog can think of. A dog knows about love. But they don't have a sense of self-awareness. They don't ponder their lives on the planet. You do. Because you have a bigger brain, perhaps. It's more than that. What you have is a piece of the Creator that allows you to then ponder these things of self-awareness. Self-awareness is not a product of your brain. AI will never be able to create consciousness. It'll create intelligence. Some will say AI may be self-aware someday, not to the degree that consciousness would allow it that a human has, because you are part of the creative source of spirit. You are able then to receive that which is the love of the Creator, which then will enhance your consciousness. Things are happening on the planet, allowing you to think higher, to raise that ceiling, to become closer to the other side of the veil. And the first thing of the 4 would be that of self. Being self-aware is one thing. Having the consciousness to reach out beyond that self-awareness and ask the question, what is my awareness of my part in the cosmos. That's more than self-aware. That's starting to ask the big questions. Who am I? Not where I belong, perhaps, in the scheme of life on earth. Is there something bigger with myself? Can't you feel it? Honestly, can you really go to bed at night and perhaps meditate and not be aware that you have a grander purpose in the universe? That perhaps your self-awareness as a human could have a higher consciousness and ask these questions. When I'm not a human, who am I? Is there a greater awareness of self, the self that is beyond humanism, the self of the cosmos? Could it be that you have been aware of self before 1 million years ago? What about 4 billion years ago? What were you doing 5 billion years ago? And that is a higher consciousness thinking of self-aware. Were you here? Here meaning right where you are, in the cosmos, in the universe. What were you doing if you were? Were you here before the universe? Now there's a thought for you. This is a super awareness of you. And if some of you go to that state and you have an aha, I think I was. What do you make of that? I'll tell you that. As long as the Creator has been the Creator, as long as God has been, so have you. That's the self we're talking about. So what does all that mean, Klein? So what? So what if I can say, yes, I was there, and I was part of that, and yes, I probably watched the creation of the planet, and now I'm a human on the planet, and all these things. What if I have a bigger place in the cosmos? What does that mean to me? If you were that, it means you might have even been part of the planning of all that is. If you are part of the creative source itself, you're then part of that which was created, why it was created. That means you have a purpose of your life. That means you helped plan and create that which is you as a human. That means you're not here by accident. It means that you have a bit of magnificence, wouldn't you say? What if all this was true? Then there is a grander, greater plan. And that is also known by you. What if you are magnificent because of all these things? Wouldn't it then reframe and rewrite you? Who you are? Why you're here? What if it is not an accident at all that you, your name goes here, is here as a human being right now on the planet? Would that give you pause to think, what is that plan? Perhaps I'm here for something the earth is going through that I never thought of before. Perhaps this, which is me, is bigger than just being self-aware. Something that AI might even create, but not the consciousness of the awareness of your part in the cosmos. What does that mean that I am, you might say? You are love. You're bigger than you ever thought you are, or could be, or were. I want you to ponder that. We're going to do more and talk about more increased awareness of things around you as the months go by. I know this is a shorter channel than usual, but it's profound. It's pointed. Who are you? Can you use a greater consciousness to see this and decide this for yourself? This is what you deserve in this new energy, and I am inviting you to go there. What you're going to find? Magnificence. I'm crying in love with you, magnificent one. Can you feel it? It's yours. And so it is.
And following that wonderful, heart-filled, love-based message from Kryon, I invite you to bring your awareness back into your body. If you've had your eyes closed, I invite you to open your eyes, and we're going to move to the next part of our program. And this is where I kind of want to do a bit of a drum roll, please, because we have an amazing individual joining us this evening. His name is John Burgos, and I want to make sure he's on the Zoom feed with us. John, are you there?
Oh, yes, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you.
Oh, we are more than excited because normally John's interviewing everyone else,
That's
but
right.
we get to interview him.
Yep. John Burgos is widely known as a leader in the human potential field. He's a teacher and a speaker who thrives when collaborating with provocative spiritual leaders, bringing light to the shared power of the awakened collective consciousness.
So passionate about cultivating strong communities that's based on personal service and contribution, John created the Beyond the Ordinary show. Now, this show was established as a platform that hosts educational topics that are hard to find in the mass media. More than a show, it quickly grew into an interactive community for those seeking ancient wisdom, the next generation of mystical teachings, spiritual awakening and soulful guidance with a pragmatic and coherent delivery. So, John, welcome to our program. I am so honoured that you are joining us this evening. Tell us how your journey began and how it all unfolded.
Oh my God. First of all, I have to update that bio because these conversations aren't hard to find anymore. It's because of people like you all that this is becoming so much more mainstream. So I just have to say thank you for that. Upon listening to that, it's like, God, how many people have access to this type of information now compared to 10 years ago when I started the show? So it's so wonderful. The show started, I was at the tail end of working on a transformational platform, and it was time for me to leave, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I was just waiting for the next calling to come around, and I thought maybe I'd go back to corporate, and that didn't feel right. And nothing was quite landing. But what I did know is that I had a passion for sharing a very esoteric, transformational type of work. I was learning how to connect with my guides. I was learning how to read energy. I was deep in forgiveness and shamanic processes. And it's like, how can I share that with more people? And the thought of becoming an individual coach and sharing that way just didn't really resonate for me. I wanted to do something that felt a little bit more alive for me. And guidance came in, and it was pure guidance that said, start a show. If you can reach a certain amount of people individually, what can you do when you bring in other people who are teaching and who have other information to share that you don't know about, and you share in community? And so the inspiration for the show really came out of my place that I just wanted to share with as many people as possible the tools that had made such a tremendous impact on shifting my life. And they were very esoteric. There were conversations that my community wasn't having, my group of friends. Again, connecting with guides, changing up my dreams mid-dream in liminal space so that I can have different outcomes, overcoming my limiting beliefs. These just weren't words that were used in my community 15 years ago. So yeah, I started creating a platform, and I was at the tail end of using whatever retirement savings that I had in my retirement accounts to help support the transition from leaving the other company. So I barely had any money left, and I didn't know what I was going to do next. But when the inspiration came to start the show, I just heard it'll just all land. And so what should have taken me 3 to 6 months to build took me about 6 weeks. And with about $5,000 left in my bank account, We launched the first show, and well, my savings account, let me take that back, in my retirement account. We launched the show. I had $7,000 worth of bills coming up the next month. But from day one, it just blew up. It just took off, and I wasn't qualified, or so I didn't think. But I knew that it wasn't me that was doing this. I was being guided by something else. And never once in the whole process was I really stressed about money. I was cognizant that I had funds that were dwindling and I was going to have to find resources to be able to get a project out. But the worry and the fear around finances, like I've held it before, weren't quite there. And I think it's, again, something was inspiring this through me. And again, it just went, I would call it viral for me. Again, it's been 10 years now. 10 years ago that just allowed this to take off. I thought I was going to be doing 1, 2, 3 seasons of it. In other words, maybe a year of shows. And again, it's been almost 10 years. So it's been amazing.
What you said about something bigger than you was like the impulse of making all of this happen, and you just kind of have to be in the flow of it. How would you describe to someone how they could surrender to that bigger energy, that bigger part of themselves, and connect with their guides?
Oh, that's such a great question. For me, it was more of a feeling. There was a drive. I was motivated by something. When I hit a particular stride, it's like I find that if I do find resistance along the way, it helps me to navigate and adjust course in a way that doesn't cause me to completely shut down. And so whenever I have a shutdown type of roadblock, that really caused me to stop and listen and just be patient with the process of what's trying to come through. So it was never about trying to force anything that came up. So even as things were building, and again, it only took 6 weeks to build, I had speakers on my show that would say no to so many other shows, and I'd call their assistants, or I called them directly. It's like, who's your list and how many people listen to your show? It's like, I don't have a list. Nobody listens to my show. It's brand new. And I'm like, we don't know. We have to say yes. And that spirit really telling me that I was aligned with something. And so listening to and paying attention to where I was being encouraged to keep creating, and taking pause where I was hitting maybe some little roadblocks so that I can stop, listen. I can wait for maybe the support to come in. I didn't have to have all the answers, but somehow the answers came through me through other people who wanted to support, who believed in what I was doing, who just wanted to encourage me. And again, following those type of guideposts really served me. I let my ego get out of the way, and the energy just flowed.
Who are you connecting with? That's what I want to know. How does it feel to you?
That's a great question. At first, I wasn't quite sure. It felt benevolent to me. And so I always felt a loving presence with it. My grandmother was a very specific guide for me, and I wasn't that close to my grandmother. So it was really interesting how she would show up. I'd see her glasses. I'd see the shape of her body, and I can feel her love coming through. I also felt a lot of Christ energy flowing through me. And when I was going through what I call the dam breaking, when my capacity for what I would call my psychic abilities, having prophetic dreams, knowing when someone was going to die, knowing that I was only going to be married for 18 years and then that would transcend, all of that information would land. It's like, what do I do with this? And again, when the dam broke, something opened, and something in me had me push away my religious background. I grew up very Latino Catholic. So again, very strict religious, but also esoteric. Thank goodness for that part of that part of my religious upbringing. And I pushed what I would call the Christ teachings away. And after a few years, it was just undeniable, the Christed energies that were coming through, connecting with Yeshua, connecting with Mary, connecting with the Magdalene. And it was deep, it was profound, and it felt like that guided for a long time. And the connection now seems to be more so, and I can't say always, but more so, it seems like it's more of an inner wisdom or connecting with a higher self aspect of myself. And I'll have inklings of different masters or even different galactics that'll show up from time to time.
I love that. And that is so commensurate with everything that we've heard, what we teach. You know, you've gone back enough, 10 years, to see the difference, as you say, in what I would say the people will understand and accept and receive. And it's changed. What do you think is the reason for that?
Well, I think one of the reasons is that we have this effect and we're affecting each other. And so as one person opens and dares to share what would be so scary to share, where supposedly we had to be in a closet, we have more permission to tap into that consciousness for ourselves. It's like that group mentality. It's allowing our hearts and allowing an expression of ourselves to come through that's been very much retained for fear or persecution or for whatever it is. That's definitely one. And collectively, I think we're being facilitated to expand into new realms of consciousness. It's undeniable what's coming through. And they talk about structures that are dismantling that no longer serve. But I like to look at it as structures, not structures, but energy flows that we have more access to, that are making themselves known in ways that we haven't experienced before. And we're having different intimate relationships with that intelligence than we ever dared to have before.
I remember distinctly at one of our Cryon seminars that someone came into the room, and it was a discovery. We had about 200 people, I think. And the statement she made was, wow, there's all these other people who I think are maybe as crazy as me. And it just blew her away that we tend to have these journeys, John, correct me if I'm wrong, as an individual experience. But then there's something magical that comes out when we connect with someone else. You've had a magical experience. Oh my gosh, you've had a magical experience. So I really see your role as opening up that portal for everybody to step into, where we can collectively see the magical experiences we're all having. Some of those experiences, do they stand out for you in this whole, last several years that you've been doing this?
Oh my goodness, I've had so many. It's hard to say. I can tell you when I first started really taking ownership of having a relationship with those experiences, again, guides coming in and showing me and teaching dreams. Some of those early dreams and those liminal states were just profound. It was undeniable that there were messages coming from other places. It wasn't a dream. It definitely wasn't a dream. I was traveling to other places and having interactions where guides were showing me libraries, where I was being shown maps on old ancient boats, when I was having spirit beings floating around, taking me from one classroom to the next. It was profound, and those will never leave me. But I have them, they've become, I can't say normalized, because they always leave me in awe and wonder, which is the gift that we get to live in this human experience as we learn to have this relationship. But there's so many, and I get to have them now in my waking life, walking in nature, interacting with other people. And what really lives in me is not just the high of those very profound energetic experiences that seem to come from another realm, but how I get to embody the memory of that and get to witness it in this waking life in different ways. And I'm working more and more towards that. And so there's a gratitude of this being alive that runs through me in ways that didn't before, because I'm more awake, I believe, to the vast awe and the miracles that surround us in ways, again, that I hadn't had access to before, that I wasn't conscious of.
I love the statement, and I said it many times, it's the gratitude. Yeah, that's different. To me, that's different too. We go through phases. This is my 34th year. We go through phases. It's never done. And the phase that I'm going through now is I'm waking up with gratitude. I can't remember that before in all my work, and so it's new and all. Here's a question you probably didn't expect me to ask, but you're in touch with a lot of stuff, and I want to know: do you think the ancients have something to tell us and teach us?
Oh my God, I got the chills when you said that. Absolutely. Oh my God, absolutely. They have a lot to teach us. What's happening in my experience also, there's a lot of ancestral work that gets taught through my platform, and I'm involved in it. And we do soul recovery, we do lineage work, we do ancestral work. And I believe we're having a different type of relationship, not just with our ancestors, but the ancestors of the past. But I feel it's becoming more awake because a lot of people are awakening that we're not just rewiring or rewriting the history of our ancestors, which is part of what we have to come to reconciliation with within our own being. But that point of gratitude, Lee, again comes up. It's like when we get to the point of having gratitude for our lineage, for our ancestors, for the gift that they had, it opens up a container or portal for us to be more receptive to the energy of the ancient ancestral that's coming up. And so again, I believe that we're opening doors that we didn't have access to with the work or with the consciousness that we're stepping into, because we're tuning into ways that we haven't before. And because we're having these collective conversations, it's like it's more accessible. And the combination of that, for me, just states that absolutely, yes, we're opening up a huge gateway of information, of wisdom, of technology that we're ready as a humanity to receive and not just be responsible with, but to create new paradigms with in the most benevolent way.
How has this all impacted your life, just in general?
I'm softer. I'm more relaxed. I'm more peaceful. Lee, the same with you as this year in particular, the overflow of gratitude that runs through me, it wells me up almost on a daily basis. And when I'm not in it, I really step into my being. I go into, even if it's a short meditation, and realize that anything that's running through me, that if it's anxiety, fear, or nervousness, something uncomfortable, if I'm picking up something collective or having an imprint from a dream or worry about what's coming up, just sitting in meditation, just remembering, it's like, wow, I've had this before. This isn't unfamiliar. And I've gone through it every time. This is something that my body is just attuning with and remembering that I'm safe, that there's something else. There's something bigger. And what touches me, what connects me to that something bigger, it's the gratitude for what I have, the abundance that I'm surrounded with, no matter how much I have in my bank accounts or how little, or what the day looks like or what may be coming through me. Just, again, to be in the awe of this collective awakening that we're all experiencing, that I'm witnessing of. It takes me beyond hope of what's possible and into gratitude, into what actually is at this moment.
We believe also in affirmations a lot, and that what we present in our conscious and subconscious actually is like paving the road in front of us with what we are imagining. Do you have some of that too? Do you believe that you can change your life by thinking about stuff?
Absolutely. It's one of the practices that I was taught very early on in this awakening. And there are actually mirror statements that we used to go in that I was taught. And very specifically, because what happens with those affirmations, our brain gets rewired. And as our brain gets rewired and we hold that field, our field of potential expands to meet that. And so those affirmations, as we learn to override the old limits and beliefs, are profound. People don't, maybe some people do, but there's such a big trend towards psychedelic medicines and ayahuasca and psilocybin. But what a lot of people in our community perhaps are not aware of is that those tools of consciousness that people use work in the same way of affirmations. They trigger an old point of where limiting belief or an experience was, opens up chemically of how the brain releases peptides to form new neural pathways. And in forming the new neural pathways, you form a new belief system that can actually stick. And so affirmations do exactly the same thing. If we're patient enough and work with them enough and are devoted to the change that we seek, those affirmations are going to 100% cause a positive change in your being.
What are some of the other kind of tools that you encourage people to use to get rid of our limiting beliefs?
A big one's that's coming up, and I think it's because landing on Kauai, different experiences that I had, we have to get in our bodies more. We have to move our bodies, allow for the innocent sensuality to run through. And please let me focus on the innocent sensuality, our capacity to feel, to be with the movement, to connect to the earth and to connect to higher realms. It all happens through this vehicle. And so being in practice, in a somatic practice of accepting, loving, and including our bodies to be in communication with everything that's running through us, it's hugely important. And then listening. Again, it's ancient. We've talked about it forever, but a tuning in, an intimacy with our meditation and a stillness. And it's wonderful to listen to Lee's meditations in the channel. It's wonderful to tune into Beyond the Ordinary Show or something else that may resonate to you, or binaural beats or music that's guiding you through. But being in stillness at least once a week, if not every day, for a couple of minutes, and just being with your own thought and what's running through you, it's one of the most effective tools for connecting and tuning into these frequencies that are just undeniable now. And so the more that we're willing to have a relationship with that, you're going to find the more that you're going to attune into what's uniquely being communicated to you. And how wonderful.
What beautiful advice. And when you said that, for me, my place of real stillness and connectivity is in nature, the sentience known as Gaia. There is such a deep connection that we have as humans with our planet, which is alive and in partnership to us. And I'm always wanting to know from others to share what their connection is with our beautiful, beautiful planet, and any thoughts you want to share on that.
Oh, Gaia. So beautiful. I had a profound initiation. I was in a massage table, actually. And the masseuse is very energetically connected, and she just holds this space. That was amazing. And 10 minutes into the massage, she was working on part of my upper shoulder. I felt into Gaia, and I just went into her, and I started sobbing on the massage table, and Gaia was sending me all these messages. And the crux of the message is, she just told me, it's like, John, and this island speaks to me all the time. I receive so many messages from her, and they're so aligned. And they wind up manifesting themselves in other messages from other people's experiences. So anyway, I was on a massage table, and Gaia comes in and is like, John, do not be so concerned about the destruction that humankind is doing to me. No matter what you do, you can't destroy me. No matter what you do, you cannot destroy me. It is impossible. But I love you so much that I'm willing to demonstrate to you until an inch of my breath of destruction that you're doing to yourselves. I'm but a mirror for what's happening to you eternally. And I love you so much that I'm willing to hold that space until you can finally see for yourselves the toxicity, the pollution, the abandonment that you have within yourselves. So I am but a direct reflection of you. And I will hold this love for you until the end of time. Heal yourselves and you'll see me heal. And again, the message was, the way that I received it on the table, and again, this was years ago, was profound. And that has not left me as true. And in that, there was a greater deal of reverence, not only for Gaia, but for what I put into myself, the information that I give to me, what I choose to ingest, and know that has a direct correlation, not only on my health, but on the health of those around me, and of course on the health of this beautiful being that supports us as we inhabit her during this lifetime.
This is so interesting because this is exactly what we teach. And we've had channeling after channeling that said, Gaia is saying, I'm more resilient than you think.
Oh, yeah.
And you're poisoning yourself. I mean, this is so interesting that we have the same kind of message. What would you say to the listeners right now if you just, somebody just tuned in? What's your advice?
Oh, my God. Where are you having fun? It's like, where are you choosing to find joy in your life? Truly. I mean, it's God, whatever's coming up around you, can you focus on just anything that just brings you a little bit of joy? But I want it to be joy that if you can't find it anywhere, if you need to tune into a baby laughing on YouTube, do that. but I want you to start getting to a point where you can physically manifest the joy, self-generate that joy within yourself. Whether that's in a meditation or just sitting in silence where you're feeling gratitude for what you do have, or it's jumping in the ocean or going out for a walk in the mall and just being with yourself and moving your body, or whatever it may be, just any little place where you can find joy, and let that be the primary focus of your everyday, no matter what responsibilities you may have. Make it a focus of finding joy. And perhaps you start with maybe finding gratitude, and then the joy comes. And of those of you who have joy, it's like, if you're withholding it for the sake of others, or, you know, it's like, where else can we expand into? Where else can we grow our consciousness of what's available for where we can hold that joy and be an eminence for it? It's a direct reflection of what's expanding in us consciously, energetically, in the cosmos, of new ways that we can create. So we're being asked to build from the abundance that we have to create even more abundance. And if you're feeling scarce in there, start with what you do have, and you'll feel that account of that joy continue to build as you continue to invest in it.
Gratitude, joy, the stillness. I mean, it's all here. If you've been listening to this conversation, it's like John has taken 34 years of cryo channeling and just gone,
and
there you are. There it is in 25 minutes.
It's just awesome.
So it is awesome. So
this message from
I
you.
want to tell you to go to John's website. It's johnburgos.co. So he's decided to even be outside the norm and not even do .com.
It's
It is
.co.
.co. It's not a hearing mistake.
No.
Johnburgos.co. And it's just been so delightful having you on this program with us, John. Are there any kind of final words that you want to share with those who are watching?
It's be in devotion to you. Again, we seek to be of service to others, and it's so beautiful. And I understand, and I have found that from building the show and having all these interviews, at first I thought that I was building the show so I can share information and help other people awaken or have access to. And after 10 years of doing this, really after a few years of doing it, I quickly found out that I created this show for me. And I mean, it's the relationships, the friendships, the conversations, the audience, what I get to receive of it. I thought I was being of service to others, but it's all been for me, and from my overflowing cup, I get to give even more. And so, be in devotion to you, being in curiosity of who you are, touch into that foundation of benevolence that you're building from. And from there, you just can't get it wrong. Everything is just right. And just know there's so many people here to cheer you on your journey. All of us here for sure.
Awesome.
Well, that has been so inspirational.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Such an honor being here. Thank you all so much.
Oh, well, I am feeling so inspired by everything John has said.
Me too.
Yeah, and I can't believe it, but it is time for us to take a break. We are going to take 10 minutes, and then we're going to see you back here for Cryon's Circle of 12.
Welcome back, everybody, from the break. Wonderful to talk to John. Beyond the Ordinary is a very popular show, and I love it when I get to interview the interviewer. And that's pretty special stuff.
I think it's really special, and I think that the success of everything John has been doing, to me, it's another sign of the shift that we are in, and that humanity is awakening to a bigger truth. And so thank you so much, John, for your contribution to awakening on this planet. It's needed now more than ever before. And yeah, I'm just so delighted that we got to have John come and participate and have fun with us on our show. So what we would like to do now is move into a part of the program that we call Miracle Moments. And it's all about celebrating the miracles of others, and it's about connecting together and sending love and compassion to those who are asking for a miracle. I want you to know that the energy of compassion and prayer for others is incredibly powerful. I have experienced it.
Group prayer works, as I've said before, and so does talking to your smart body, called the innate. I'd like to ask Monica to share some miracle moments that have happened to 2 of our Circle of 12 members.
So the first miracle moment happened to Felicia, and she has 2 miracles to report. First miracle, I was talking to my innate, giving instructions, and for the first time, I heard so clearly, more love. So my innate wanted more love. And so here is Felicia's second miracle. Even though innate wanted more love, I felt so dry and not able to create or be more love. I asked my guides, and immediately I started saying, I love you, to my innate, my cells, and my organs. I was sobbing since I was feeling so much more love. I am sending much love to all. And I love that, Felicia, and it really feels like there's a whole theme for this entire evening about telling your body how much you love your body. Thank you, Felicia, for not just sharing your miracle with us, but inspiring us to do the same. Then I want to share another testimonial we had sent into the membership portal of our Healing Wednesday program. Her name is Hanne, and she's from Denmark, and she says, my experience was when Kryon talked about hope, the rainbow, and being one with God. I felt that I was both the creator and little me. I was overwhelmed with tears and love. I felt so much love, and suddenly I could feel hope for the planet. It was like all my lives merged, and I got a lot of glimpses of who I really am. I'm overflowing with love and hope for the planet. I am filled with love for all, and for I am one with everything and everyone. My goodness, those miracles are so inspiring. And the one word that jumps out to me throughout all of that dialogue that I just shared is the word love. Love comes in so many shapes and forms in our own linear mindset. But when Kryon talks about love, it is about the greatest love affair we have as humans. It's the love from the Creator to you, and that somehow you are part of this all-loving, benevolent Creator. And so that's the part that I invite you to connect with right now as we send an amplified wave of that same loving, benevolent energy coming from the Creator to us. And it's simply that many of us are just not aware of it. or we can't fully allow ourselves to receive that love. And there are people who are asking for prayers of help, prayers of request from us to come together and send them our love and energy. So I invite you to close your eyes and just soften your breathing, because in our breath, as we begin to slow our breathing in and out, there is a signal to the cells of our body that we are calm, peaceful, relaxed. We're in a place where we can surrender to that love and benevolent energy coming from the Creator. And as we surrender and our breathing slows, our hearts begin to actually synchronize together. And with this entrainment that we share, we create coherence as a group, and we are able to do things more powerfully with our intent and our energy. And so collectively as a group, I ask in the quantum realm to send love and benevolence to all of those who are requesting a miracle moment. And it could be in the past, present, or future they have asked this. But in the quantum realm, it's all in the now. It's all in that field of potentials, this now moment. And so it's simply by breathing, connecting with our heart energies, we allow the love and benevolence from the Creator to reach those who have asked for our help. Let us extend that to all those on the planet. We share this planet with our beautiful brothers and sisters of humanity. And in this intention right now, we are sending an amplified wave of love and benevolence directly from the Creator to them. And you are reminded that you too are included. You too are love. You too are part of the Creator. That is who you truly are. And thank you for joining in this wave of love that we send out. And now let us receive not only the love from the Creator, but the loving message from Kryon.
Greetings, dear ones. I am Kryon. Come a little closer. This is the Circle of 12, named for the structure of the universe, not for 12 entities, named for the majesty of the way the universe is put together. Beautiful it is, and you're part of it. Tonight, the Circle of 12 will be slightly different. For those who have joined us so many times, you're aware of what we do. Take you over that bridge, that metaphoric bridge from the known to the unknown, a journey perhaps into your soul, beyond the veil, you might say, to the essence of creation itself, and you were there. And in that place, if you wish to call it that, the place that is multidimensional, we've invited you to meet people, to meet yourself, to meet angels, guides, your higher self. We've gone through so many scenarios in these episodes, in these programs. Almost all of them was self-discovery. You were finding out some things. You were administered to by those who were in an audience while you were in a theater in the round. This has been the theme of the Circle of 12. And now it starts to change slightly with this month. In this particular month, we're going to do something different, and it will be continued for the entire month. It's time that you benefited from something. It's something where you don't have to discover anything. You don't have to think about it. You'll see when we get there. So we're going to go there now. I invite you, like I have each time, to suspend your reality. If you think you could do that just for a moment, create a real scenario that is beyond what your brain thinks is possible. This has been done so many times by the gurus and the meditators. It's not hard, but it may be different for your culture. Suspend belief. Take my hand. We're going across the bridge. Come with me. The bridge you cross is magnificent because it represents you. It can be as big or small, but it's still magnificent. Perhaps it's gilded in gold to represent you, your majesty. You're going to your own home. Through the mist you go, and you come to this, again, area, which is magnificent. I keep using the word, there is no other word. It's splendorous where you are. And it can be anything you want. It's a multi-dimensional representation of what you don't understand. How about that one? And there you are, and we wish to guide you to an area now. Not through a door and not through a portal, but in this magnificent land, this place of splendor and love and safety, you start to realize, I'm home. This is a real home. Is this real or not to you, dear ones? Or are this just words that you're hearing? I invite this to be real. You go to an area now, and I want you to relax. And you can sit in a chair if you wish. You can be on something soft, maybe even a mattress, or maybe on the grass. I want you to get comfortable. I want you to be in that place physically where your body is the most relaxed and is the most comfortable it could possibly be. And then I'm going to ask a favor. Wherever you are right now in 3D, make it quiet. Take this time for a very serious event. Make it quiet. Make yourself quiet. If there's activity around you, make it quiet. If you can't do that right now, then I'm going to ask you to see this replay, which we make available to everyone, and prepare by making it quiet. This is important, as quiet as you can have it. And then you listen to my words. For, dear ones, this is as real as it gets if you want it to be. This is real. But if you're one that cannot step out of your own limited 3D, it may not be. And that's why we take you across the bridge, a metaphor for going from one area to another, where you can experience these things. Some weeks ago, in a conference for more than 500 people, we did this exact exercise. And it was felt. And if you ask some of them if it was real, they'll tell you there was something that happened in that session that day that they won't forget. They know it was real. So why not now, virtually, listen to my voice. Keep it quiet. There is a very thick green mist that is starting to develop all around you. Some would say it comes in like perhaps the clouds that you have seen in a weather front. Instead of happening all at once, it comes slowly toward you. It's thick. It's thick with love. It's thick with angelic purpose. It's magnificent like you are. It has your name on it. It's something that you have asked for. You prepared for it. It is a healing mist. Beautiful it is, and it comes from all sides. It moves slowly towards you, almost as if asking permission. Can we proceed? Can we be here? Is it okay? And it's doing that because you might call it a miracle mist. A green miracle mist that has to have your permission. It cannot then just be there. Because what it's about to do is imbue itself into every cell of your body and stay there. This green mist is a healing mist. This particular circle of 12, it's going to be different from the other circle of 12s that some of you will receive in the next 3 weeks. But this is the big one. This is the one we wish all of you to participate in it. Be still, really still. Don't move. Don't cough. Try to silence anything that is in the room that would distract you from this moment. Dear ones, this particular mist today is physical healing. There are things happening perhaps in your body that I will say is inappropriate for the magnificence of who you are. This particular green mist is starting to cover you. Oh, this feels wonderful. You might even get chills when you feel this coming in and flowing over you. You'll feel the love. 1,000 hands are on you that are angelic, each one of them touching you, saying, love is here. Welcome home. It's almost like a healing bath that you deserved and you needed, and here it is, and you knew it was coming eventually. We've taken a long time with a circle of 12s to get here. We've taken many episodes. You get to a place where all you have to do is be. And let us do the work. Be. And let us do the work. What is it in your body that you would like to have attention placed? Well, I'll tell you something. You don't have to answer, because that green mist knows. It talks to the innate. It flows right where it is needed the most. You don't even have to say it. You don't have to speak to your innate. We are doing it for you. Why don't you just be quiet and feel this flow over you? It is such a healing salve, thick with love, pouring, imbuing itself into every cell of your body. And while it is doing that, I want you to affirm you deserve it. You've waited for it. It's on time. It's on purpose, like you are. No mistake on the planet that you are here, dear ones. There seems to be magic that is able to be happening in your life. It isn't magic at all. It's a physics of consciousness of magnificence. It only seems like magic because you haven't had it before. Dear ones, I want you to stay and stay and stay. And then repeat this if you'd like. Stay. Feel the love that's here and the healing that is yours. I'm crying a magnetic service in love with you all. Come a little closer. And so it is.